All right. Well, okay. Here comes a B-side. Are you ready for this? 3, 2, 1. What's up, nerds? Welcome to a Nerds Gone Rogue B-side here on Nerds Gone Rogue, because I like to say Nerds Gone Rogue more than one time in a sentence. So I'm one of your hosts, Corey Deering, and alongside me, as always, is the man himself, the myth, the legend, Matthew Keel.
Yes, we are out in the middle of nowhere, and Moose is missing. So
it's true. Moose is, quote, stuck at work, whatever that means.
Whatever. It's probably. Well, I mean, we are in the. We just hit October 1st.
It's true.
Yeah, I know, Bagel. I know. I'm sad Moose is gone too.
Probably saw a burger on the side of the road and had to eat it.
Probably. That seems like him.
Picture,
Marshall's in the chat. He pulled that crap on me and Jeff. Before.
Well, Jason, if you ever need a substitute,
he's playing Xbox.
If you ever need a substitute on Nerds Gone Platinum or a new co-host, if you want to boot Moose out.
No, we're not advocating the removal of Moose.
A remooseful, if you will.
Yeah.
I tried.
Well, anyway.
Points for trying, guys.
Yes.
A for effort.
You're still a new dad. You have the dad jokes haven't quite settled on top of you yet.
I know.
They will.
It's being a dad is like an RPG, right?
He has to level up.
I just started. I gotta level up my my skill, if you will, in dad jokes.
Your dad joke dexterity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So football season has begun. How are your Browns doing?
They're scoring points.
That's good to hear.
They lost yesterday in overtime.
Yeah, 45-42. I saw that.
Yeah, it was. I watched the whole game, man. 5-hour game. First of all, what football game lasts for 5 hours? Second of all, there was some funky refereeing.
The NFL had to rescind a first down.
And I'm not just talking about against the Browns. Marshawn Lynch clearly broke a tackle and they blew the whistle, which was like, I mean, it was good for us because if they didn't blow the whistle, he would have scored a touchdown. But like, I mean, you know what Marshawn Lynch does. He trucks people and runs them over and breaks tackles. And few
people have earned the nickname Beast Mode like Marshawn Lynch has.
That's true. That is true. And he trucked 2 of the Browns players and did a 6 spin move, and they blew the whistle. And I'm just like, wow, that was interesting. But
in our continuing dad joke developments, you're at level 1. Dad jokes are level 2, according to Nerds Gone Platinum's Jason Marshall.
Yes, I leveled up. Woo!
No, you're not there yet.
I'm not there yet. I gotta experience points. You know, it's hard to do dad jokes when your kid doesn't understand. So it's like that point in RPG where you need to level up to fight the boss, but it's like you're like in the woods shooting rabbits or whatever. Yeah, slimes, whatever. It's where you're consuming the cheese in Skyrim.
Yeah. All the cheese.
I'm building my cheese house. Oh. I don't know.
So I don't have a dog in football's fight. So wait, the Browns are 1-2, right?
Nope, they are 1-2-1.
Oh yeah, they've drawn twice.
They've been in overtime 3 times. 2 times. 2 times. Yeah. You know, the game went down to like a minute 20 left in overtime. Do you know the Browns would have been the first team in NFL history to have 2 ties in one season?
I mean, technically they do. They have 2 ties now, right?
No, they have 1 tie.
Oh,
they tied the Steelers. They tied the Steelers. They lost in week 2. They won last week, or they won against the Jets on Thursday night, and then they lost to the Raiders.
Okay.
Lost to the Raiders.
A coworker of mine said the Browns are like the sleeper team this year. I'm like, yeah, but will they wake up?
No.
I mean, well, technically they kind of have.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're scoring points, so I mean that's like the one big thing we didn't have last year, and we're leading the NFL.
And you're playing defense overtime, which is
three of our they scored 3 touchdowns off turnovers yesterday. By the way, they had a pick 6 in the first quarter. And then we fumbled the ball on the 10-yard line and like the 13-yard line, and then they scored touchdowns on both those.
Marshall says, "Try being a Giants fan." No.
No.
How many Super Bowls have you won?
Yeah.
What, like 4? Oh yeah. Okay.
Ask me how many times the Browns have been to the not the Super Bowl, the playoffs since Super Bowl started.
Since the drive.
Yeah.
Since the fumble.
Nice try, Jason. Better luck next time.
I read it. Well, speaking of the Browns, I read a pretty good essay about. I wish I could try. It was on NFL.com, and it was about a diehard Browns fan for like 30, 40 years, and it's just a really good. It's a really good look at someone following just a categorically bad team.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try and find the title before we're done, either with this or our main show.
If you think about it, if the Browns want to move to Baltimore, we would have a Super Bowl victory because the Ravens won the Super Bowl in 2000.
Yeah, but see, you do that, you mess with all sorts of butterfly effects and shit. Like,
we've had 30 starting quarterbacks since 1999.
Yeah.
30. There's a guy that goes to the games and like he has a Tim Couch jersey, but every time a new quarterback starts, he like adds a new name to the jersey, and it's down past his knees. The name list on his jersey is down past his knees.
That's pretty awesome. Tim Couch.
God, Tim Couch. Man, I remember when we drafted Tim Couch. Everybody was so excited. I was like,
why?
even at like 12 years old, I was like, yeah, this isn't going to end well. Expansion team, expansion draft. Just throwing it out there. Tim Couch might not survive the NFL. Guess what?
He didn't.
He didn't.
He did. Come here.
He married Brittany Kozar's daughter, though. So
that's weird.
Something.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Hang on one second. I got. Oh, he doesn't want to be picked up. Okay, fine. He's just sitting there, just white. Do you hear this? He's just.
He thinks he still have food now.
The food's not. The food's on the table next to me. He can clearly just look at it. No bagel.
Bagel. You want some cream cheese?
So moving from football. Hey. Let me tell you about anime.
Let's hear about some anime.
I've been watching this anime called My Hero Academia.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you've been watching deviant art cartoons about Bowsette.
No. But now I have some good Googling to do on my shift tonight. But I've been watching My Hero Academia.
Where's Matt? He's been in the bathroom for like a half hour. I don't know.
Put on my crown. Yeah. So this anime is about a kid who is born into a world that's basically full of superheroes, but he doesn't have a power. He's one of the few people without powers. And he like grew up wanting to be a superhero and wanting to get into the superhero academy, as it were. I feel like the X-Men writers, at least the ones of the movies, could probably take some notes off of this show because it is done really goddamn well. I think the heroes are designed pretty well. The villains are cool. I'm only like 10 episodes into the first season. But there's not been a lot of filler. It's actually it's pretty bright and colorful too. So yeah, I just want to plug that because
Now, is this something that maybe I should be watching? Should I be watching?
I think you could probably dig it. I don't know how into. I mean, I don't really think you need to be like into anime to get.
I'll tell you what I'm not into.
Okay.
Is this little show that my wife watches called 90 Day Fiance?
Yeah, it seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, let's.
So My Hero Academia, I believe there are 3 seasons streamable on Hulu.
Ooh, we just got Hulu.
Well, man, you should check it out. First, I watched the first episode and I was kind of like, second episode, I'm like, all right, there's something here, and then the third episode, I was just, I'm like, okay, let's do this. I like how nobody is the end all be all powerful. No one is like everything is more strategy at dealing with people's powers and figuring out the moves around them. Jason Marshall is in your same boat with 90 Day Fiance. As someone who's been married once and is getting married again, 90 days, way too short. It's way too short.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there and say too short.
Yeah, I'm not an expert.
But, like the refs shorted the Browns a first down that would have won us the game.
Yeah,
Just throwing that
or
out
too
there.
short, like that great rapper from so long ago. Also, I've been reading H.P. Lovecraft for the first time. Now I know that man is associated with some problematic opinions on people of color. I know he.
So is Walt Disney.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan.
but like I don't endorse any of that. I mean, unfortunately, at least in this day and age, you kind of have you have to acknowledge that it exists. Otherwise, you are just on board. And I'm like, I have a lot of problematic faves that go up on this wall every time I do a show. I tend to I like what I like about them. That doesn't necessarily mean I will stand behind them and die on any hill they want to die on. H.P. Lovecraft was a notorious racist, and I don't agree with any of that. But I feel like the man knew his way around a word. I think
a few words, one might say.
Few words, yeah. Like he knows how to draw some menacing things out of not so menacing ideas. There's one that I'm reading. It's called Call of Cthulhu and Other Weird Tales. None of the
that's like the one thing he's like that's kind of like, if you don't know who he is, that's like the one thing that people know him from, right? And it's like
Cthulhu, yeah. Like he created the Cthulhu mythos, and I'm kind of interested in that just in general. Like I've looked at a lot of board games with Cthulhu in them, and I've wanted to learn more about it. And I think like Moose, Bloodborne sort of pushed a lot of that just because I don't really know anything about it. And just reading like the stuff that's not Cthulhu, because I haven't read Call of Cthulhu yet. That's like towards the end of the book I'm reading. I'm just going each story at a time. A lot of people say he reinvented horror, but I don't know what horror was before him. I mean, I know like Mary Shelley did Frankenstein, and that supposedly a horror book, but like I've read that and I didn't get scared at all. I've read Bram Stoker's Dracula, and it wasn't really, it didn't really bother me all that much. But I feel like the way he structured his stories, he found a way to examine the scare. So like let's take a moment and we'll say like someone's going to jump behind you and scare you right now. Now you're going to jump. You're going to feel a certain thing. Instead of just all of a sudden you turn around and there's a monster behind you and he describes it in gory detail. He goes into that minute bit of time where the scare happens, where it's not necessarily directed at a particular object. It's more about the unknown. Because if someone jumps up behind you right now and scares you, it's not that other person scared you. It's the unknowing that scared you. Like, I didn't know they were there. And he delves into that like in very interesting ways. And I would recommend checking him out if you're of the horror literature persuasion. He did a lot of he predominantly did short stories. He did a few short novels. He wasn't active for very long. He died like I think in either the late 20s or early 30s. There are a few stories in this that are like 2 pages long, but they do their job in those 2 pages. And I feel like, I mean, I'm not saying this pejoratively, but I feel like he went away to codifying the modern ghost story. Where it's, I mean, because like a lot of the early stories in this book are basically structured like campfire ghost stories, where this twist scare done, and it's really well written, and I'm sad I'm almost 40 and just getting to this now. I wish I would have had this before. H.P. Lovecraft is some good writing. So if any of you out there happen to read, check it out.
Nice. I should probably read more. But
yeah, I mean, I do it because I work overnights, and there's a surprising amount of downtime, which is fine. I feel like if I had a normal day shift job, I'd never read.
True.
So I'm just kind of trying to just take the advantages that I have. That's
true. You know what? You're a smart man. You're a smart man.
I don't know about that, but I'm glad we actually did this B-side, because I just kind of wanted to talk about other stuff that was not the video games.
Right.
So yeah.
Our final topic for B-side is Bowsette. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, Bowsette's weird. I'll just say, I've been pretty active in the Giant Bomb Facebook group of late. And there's a lot of Bowsette happening there, to the point where
there's a new thing now called Super Et Sisters or something, and it's somebody transferred every single character in Smash Brothers into their female version.
Oh yeah,
and they all look like Peach with like overalls or the Breath of the Wild tunic, or just Fox. Oh my gosh! Just
for the fact that someone has already started cosplaying Bowsette, like that's ridiculous.
I know.
Ridiculous. I mean, her costume was phenomenal. Not gonna take that away from her. Like the work she put in, fantastic. But holy hell, this Bowsette got too weird, too big, too fast.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo said, "Yeah, we actually did this before y'all did it." So and they proved it. Like, just like, I'm not sure if I should be happy about Nintendo being this weird, but ostensibly I kind of am. I like the fact that because Sony ain't doing this.
Yeah. I mean, like the Giant Beast cast said, monster girls are big in Japan, and this is a form of that, I guess.
I mean, the one sort of desire I projected into all this is just like, now we need a Nintendo Darkstalkers. That's what we need. We need a Nintendo Smash style or a beat 'em up Darkstalkers, and this can be put to rest because they will fuck it up, or it'll be a bad beat 'em up.
Or like the SNK Heroines edition version of this. Geez. That game. Ooh. That's an interesting.
What if SNK actually approached them and said, "Hey, dude, we can make this happen for you."
Yeah. Can we make a fighting game with all of your female characters starring Bowsette on the cover of the game? Nintendo would be like, no. Leave.
It'd be funny if Bowsette got a game before Waluigi did.
Oh my god! No, the next thing is going to be a Peach version of Waluigi.
What if it's just Waluigi in a blonde wig going?
No, I can already see where that would go, and I don't want to describe it because it's just going to get real bad.
I feel like Dan Riker would be real happy,
probably,
or real angry, or maybe.
Hey, do they have a custom amiibo of that? I don't know.
Yeah, probably. Okay, let's wrap up this B-side.
Yeah, B-side over. Thank you guys so much for watching the B-sides. We're back finally with a B-side. Remember, you can find B-sides on Fridays on your podcast service of choice, on ngrradio.com and on youtube.com/ngrradio. Like, subscribe, and share, all that good stuff. Check out our family shows, and until next week, we love you. Right? Yeah.
B-side Nana and out.
It's been a while since I hosted something.